So comparing two strings, okay. So if you want to compare two strings, let me take the two strings as S1 and S2, okay. So if I take the string as apple, string 1 as apple, and I take the second string 2 as apple. So both are equal, right? So your result will be both the strings are equal. So before going on to this topic, you have to understand certain things, okay. So if I am comparing two strings S1 and S2, just like the numbers what you compare, you will be having three conditions, okay. So what are the three conditions? First condition is whether S1 will be equal to S2, or S1 will be less than S2, or S1 will be greater than S2. These are the three conditions which you will have when you are comparing the two strings, that is S1 and S2. This is for example I am taking, okay. So in this condition, the example what I have taken is string 1 is equal to string 2. So how it is comparing? So that is your second step, okay. So when it compares character by character. What is your string 1? APPLE. Similarly, string 2 is APPLE. So it compares the first character A with that of the second character of the string 2. First character of string 1 and first character of string 2. Similarly, after comparison, it will compare the next character, that is your second character of your string 1 and second character of your string 2. So this is your, it compares character by character, okay, character by character. Now what is your third important point which you have to remember is that, so this already which you know, here you have string 1 and string 2. So in the memory, how it will be stored? APPLE. So what will be stored? It is not that A is stored as such. The ASCII code will be stored, right? You know this concept. So for each character, the character's equivalent ASCII code will be stored. For example, what is your ASCII code for capital A to Z? Starts from 65 to 90. Similarly, you know that for small a to Z, what is the value? ASCII code 97 to 122, right? So every every character has its own ASCII code that will be stored in the memory, and it will be compared together, okay, in the case of comparison. Okay, so I think these are the important things. And one more important thing is this S1 greater than S2 and S1 less than S2 always depends upon the dictionary order. So in the dictionary order, what you will be having? You will be having A, B, C, D, right? Just like this, right? So Z will come later, right? So A will come first, okay? So which is greater now? It is as per your dictionary order. Z is greater than, so Z will be greater than W, right? Just like this. So A will be less than B, less than C. It goes on like this. Okay. So higher order means that the dictionary which will come later. Okay. I hope you are able to understand this. So these are the important concepts you have to remember. So now let us start the points. If S1 and S2 are two strings, then comparing two strings will give either of these results. So what are the results it will be giving? So let me erase this. So first point is that you will be having either S1 and S2 will be equal, and the second point will be that your S1 will be greater than S2 when in dictionary order S1 will come after S2. So I can tell that the string S1 is greater than S2 if in the dictionary order which will come, S1 will come later than S2. So if I am taking here Z, B, C. This is your first string, and the second string is apple. Okay. So for example, this is your second string. So which will come in the dictionary order? S1 is coming later, right? So after S2. So when it compares Z and A, so which is having the higher priority, which is greater, Z is greater than A. That is the reason why you will be having S1 greater than S2. Similarly, if S1 is less than S2, when in dictionary order, S1 precedes S2. So for example, yeah, I am taking it as APPLE, string 1 as apple and string 2 as bat. Okay, so what will happen when A and B are compared together? A is having, what is the value for A? A is having 97. What will be your small b value? B value will be equal to 98, right? So 97 and B value will be equal to 98. So 97 is always less than 98. So I hope you are able to understand this meaning. Okay, this one. So these three conditions have to be checked. So let us start the algorithm. So this is your algorithm for finding or comparing the two strings. Step 1, you are initializing two variables that I is equal to 0 and same is equal to 0. Okay, so I have told you I means you are going to use it for a loop, right? So both are initialized to 0. Then step 2, set, you have to find out the length of the string. There is one more important concept. Suppose if both the strings length is equal, only then you can proceed for this comparison. If the strength is not equal, sorry, if the length is not equal of the two strings, then you can stop it there itself and you cannot proceed further. So you can give the output as the strings are not equal. That is what it is written here. So first length 1, it is checking the variable length 1 is equal to length of string 1, length 2 is equal to length of string 2. It calculates what is the length of string 1 and string 2. For example, apple means what is the length of string 1? A, P, P, L, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Here in this case, this is 5 and second string length is also 5. So you can proceed for the checking the comparison. So both the strings length should be equal. So step 3, if length 1 not equal to length 2, then what you will write, the strings are not equal, else you can go for your comparison. So first you have to check the condition whether strings are equal. So how will you find the strings are equal? For example, I am just writing the memory APPLE string 1, right? And second string is also A, P, P, L, right, E. Okay, so how can you compare it? Compares character by character. So I will initialize the value for I is equal to 0, then I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it checks 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because you know that the index always starts with 0. Okay, so what is the condition? What I have, I am using the loop here, while loop here, while I is less than length of 1. In this case, what is the length of 1? Which is equal to 5, right? If when 0, first case I is equal to 0. So whether 0 is less than 5. Yes, it enters into the loop. Inside the loop, it is checking if string 1 of I is equal to string 2 of, so it is checking whether string 1 of I is equal to 0, right? String 1 of 0 is equal to string 2 of 0. Means what? A and A is compared. Yes, it is equal. If it is equal, you can increment the value for I. So what I will become now? 0 plus 1. I will be equal to 1. Okay, it checks the condition whether 1 is less than 5. It enters into the loop. Again, it checks the condition. String 1 of 1 is equal to string 2 of 1, right? So now I hope that you are able to understand. You can do it by yourself. Okay, till what? So first I will be 1, I will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the length is equal to 5, right? This loop will continue till the value for I is less than length 1, it is false. So when it becomes 5, when I is equal to 5, 5 less than 5, no, it is false. Okay, till then the loop will continue. Okay, so end of the loop once your I becomes 5. So here itself, if the string 1 of I is not equal to, it is not equal to string 2 means, else it will go to your step 4. Because what is your step 4? It is going to check the other two condition, whether S1 is greater than S2 or S2 is greater than, S1 is less than S2. So here, let me finish off this first. So first this loop is ending here. Then if I is equal to length of 1, here I is incremented, right? I is equal to 5. That's how the loop has ended. Now it will check whether 5 is equal to length 1. Means what? 5 is equal to 5. Then set same is equal to 1. You are making the variable same. You are initializing it to 1 and you are going to write the strings are equal. Okay. So you have got the first condition. Next you have to check the other two conditions. Suppose if here any one string is different. So if I'm taking A, B, P, L, E. So B and P are different. Now it checks whether it is S1 is greater than S2 or S1 is less than S2. For that, it checks again the condition. If same is equal to, still if it is equal to 0, then because here you have made it 0, right, and here you have made the change as 1. Obviously if it is not changed to 1, then it will be, if same is equal to 0, then it checks the first condition, whether string 1 of I greater than string 2 of I. Then, right, so it checks the condition whether your string 1 of I is greater than string 2 of I. It is as per your dictionary order, as I have told you, or you can keep it in your memory as per your ASCII. So in this case here A is equal, but when it comes here, see here, B and P are different, right? So what is the value for B? B will be equal to, small b will be equal to 98, right? And P will be obviously greater than your um, B, right? So A, B, C, D, it goes on. So P will be taking a higher value. So now you know that B is less than P. Okay. So this will be false. The string is greater. So else if the string 1 is less than S2, then write string 2 is greater than string 1. So this condition will be true. End of if, exit. So this is how your algorithm works. So now let us see by an example. I hope that you have understood this. So now see here, we have written a program to compare the two strings, include stdio.h. You know that these two are the header file, string.h, because you're using the inbuilt string functions main, which indicates the start of the program. Now you are declaring what are the two variables, char string 1 of 50 comma string 2 of 50. The maximum sizes, array sizes 50. Okay, string 1 and string 2 in order to compare, in order to store two string values, right? So what is your, this, you know that this is your declaration of your string. Your data type is always a character. Okay, next what is, again next you have initialization of int. The data type is integer. What are the variables? I is equal to 0, length 1 is equal to 0, length 2 is equal to 0, same is equal to 0. First you are initializing all these values for the different variables. Now printf, first intention is what? You have to enter the first string and the second string. So what are the instructions, or what are the functions you will be using? Printf /n, which indicates a new line, enter the first string. So here if I am entering it as apple. Okay, apple. Similarly, so if you want to store it in the memory, what is a function you will be using? Get s of string 1, just your get s function. So I have told you the meaning of this in the previous video, right? Get s, it will include the space also. Get s of your which string you have to enter, which variable. So this is your string 1, right? You are going to enter. So string 1 is your array name. So just call that. Okay, so get s of string 1, printf /n, enter the second string, get s of string 2, str2, that is your second variable. So your second string I am writing it as again apple. So both the string will be stored in the memory. Okay, length 1 is equal to, it is just finding the length of the strings. Okay, so inbuilt functions, length 1 is equal to string length, or str length, string manipulation function, right, to find out the length of the string, and string 1. So your it will find out the length of the string 1. Here in this case it is equal to 5, right? 1 2 3 4 5, and it will be assigned to length 1. Similarly length 2 will be assigned the length of the string 2. I hope you're clear with this. Now it checks the condition. If length 1 is equal to length 2, equal to length 2, whether 5 is equal to 5. Yes, it is true. If it is true, it enters into the loop. So it checks the, now the, it checks the condition, right? While I is less than length 1. So I is initialized first to what? 0. Now it checks one by one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for 0, first character it will check, right, when I is equal to 0, in the algorithm how I have explained. So string 1 of 0, whether it's equal to string 2 of 0, first condition it will be checked. If it is 0, again it gets, I gets incremented. Next it checks the condition, next it enters the loop, then it checks string 1 of 0 equal to string, sorry, string 1 of 1, whether it is equal to string 2 of 1. So similarly this will happen till string 1 of 4 is equal to string 2 of 4. Yes, it is equal, right? It checks one by one. Then I will be again incremented. Now I will be equal to 5. Else, if it is not equal, then else break. Okay. So after it is after it has done all the loop, once it I becomes 5, it comes out of the loop. Then it will check, right? Now I is equal to 5. Whether I is now 5, whether 5 is equal to length of 1. Yes, 5. 5 is equal to 5 means what you will do, you will make the same as 1 and the two strings are equal. I hope that you know that. So here they have written, apart from the algorithm, they have written this in the middle step. If length of 1 not equal to length 2, then printf the two strings are not equal. Okay. Now next, this is your if it is not equal. So this is if it is equal. Now you have the other two conditions. If same is equal to 0, if it will check if string 1 of I is greater than string 2 of I, then printf string 1 is greater than string 2. Else if string 1 of I is less than string 2 of I, string 2 is greater than string 1. Return 0, which indicates the end of the program. I hope you have understood this. Okay. Now this is your 4 conditions where I have executed and given executed for all the 4 conditions. First condition I have entered the first string as the capital HELLO, second string as capital HELLO. It compares character by character. All the character are same, right? That's why you have got the result as the two strings are equal. Okay, this is for equal. Now check the second condition. Here I have written enter the first string capital HELLO and enter the second string small HELLO. So first letter itself is different, right? One is capital H and the other is small h. So what is your capital A starting from 65, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So you can count what is the value for capital H. Now small a starts from 97. So obviously which will be greater? Small letter will be greater than H. Small h will be greater than capital H, right? So I can tell that S2 is greater than S1. That is what written here. String 2 is greater than string 1. Okay, string 2 is greater than string 1. This is for the second condition. Now ulta, if I write small h in the first string and capital H in the second string, I can tell that string 1 is greater than string 2. So this is for the second condition. And if I check the length, see here HELLO, here I have given HELLOOOO. So the two string length of 1 not equal to length of 2. So which indicates the two strings are not equal. Okay, so these are the 4 different outputs which you can try. Okay, so you can try the algorithm and you can try the program by yourself.